Hey there, future legal eagles. Today I'm bringing equity and trust to life through some fascinating stories. Yep, we're diving into the nitty-gritty of law with tales that you won't forget. Let's get started with the birth of equity. Once upon a time in medieval England, a farmer named John was in a pickle. His land was snatched by his neighbor, Lord Henry, because of some feudal mumbo-jumbo. John tried to get justice in the common law courts, but they were all about rigid rules and couldn't help him. So John turned to the king's chancellor, the keeper of the king's conscience. The chancellor, feeling John's pain, ordered Lord Henry to give the land back, marking the birth of equity, justice based on fairness. Remember, equity steps in when common law falls short. Next up, let's talk about the three certainties of trusts. Picture this. Margaret, a wealthy widow, wanted her granddaughter Emily to have her prized emerald necklace. She wrote in her will, "I leave my jewelry to my trustee, Mr. Brown, to hold for Emily's benefit." Sounds clear, right? Wrong. The will didn't specify which pieces of jewelry. After Margaret's death, a family feud erupted. The court ruled against Emily because the subject matter wasn't certain. Lesson here, a trust needs certainty of intention, subject matter and object, so be specific. Now let's dive into secret trusts. Thomas, a businessman, wanted to support his illegitimate son James without his wife finding out. He told his friend Mr. Smith to hold £100,000 in trust for James. No mention in the will, just a secret letter. After Thomas's death, Mr. Smith honored the trust, and James got his education funded. This is a secret trust in action. Even if it's not in the will, it's enforceable if there's clear intention. Moving on to constructive trusts and fiduciary duties. Sarah and David were business partners, but David was sneaky, diverting company funds to his account. The court imposed a constructive trust, making David return the funds and held him accountable for breaching his fiduciary duty. Moral of the story? Fiduciaries must act in good faith and loyalty. Finally, let's talk about charitable trusts. Eleanor set up a trust for scholarships, but the trustees misused the funds. The court stepped in, enforcing the public benefit requirement and making the trustees restore the funds. Charitable trusts must serve the public, and trustees must stick to the trust's purposes. And that wraps up our journey through equity and trusts. Remember, these principles aren't just legal jargon, they're tools to ensure justice and fairness. Keep these stories in mind as you tackle your studies and future legal careers. Until next time, stay sharp and stay curious.